That you would be pursuing new industry more aggressively.
Absolutely.
And is that a reason for this change, that it hadn't been pursued aggressively enough recently?
What that means is what we will not be relying on just sources being brought to us, waiting till the phone ring. We will be aggressively going out, knocking on doors. We will be marketing our community on a global scale now. And what makes it easier for the Industrial Authority to do that, it is the official body charged with economic development. So once the Industrial Authority pursue a particular industry, we can get approval immediately within our board rather than having to wait for it to come to us from other sources. We will be now addressing and approaching industry in a manner that is a little different than what we're doing now. I don't know if you got a chance to catch the 60-minute episode a couple weeks ago where it talked about the Golden Triangle and the amount of success that they've had down in Mississippi. They didn't sit back and wait on the phone to ring. They was much more aggressive in how they did recruitment. They knew what industries was looking for before the phone rang or the doorbell rang. So they was preparing to address some of the issues and the questions that consultant and the industry were looking for, and really go out and discuss with some of these consultants and CEOs and sharing with them the true benefits that may exist right here in Macon-Bibb, Georgia, and what we have to offer. The Industrial Authority can do that without approval from anybody because we are the body charged with it. So that makes it a little easier for us to take that approach.
Well, I guess I don't see how a 6-member board can be a single point of contact.
Yes, within the Pat Topping served as a single point of contact.
Sure.
Before. Pat Topping was a MEDC employee.
Sure.
He worked directly for MEDC. So there is a gap in between there, between direct authorization from the Industrial Authority that's not as general as here's our pre-approved schedules, et cetera, et cetera. Sometimes some of these decisions are made in a manner that is so quick, and when you have the individual that work directly for the authority, it makes it a little easier in that process and in that lapse.
And Stephen will be that point of contact for the authority?
Currently, we will have Stephen serving in that capacity, but the Industrial Authority will be looking to expand the operations within our organization as well. So there are other individuals that will be brought on to do this work. As you know, the Industrial Authority has been without an executive director for the last couple of years. We have a search going on for an executive director of the Industrial Authority as well. So,
and then that person would be the point?
We will evaluate then. That's something we'll allow that individual to decide how he chooses to operate at that time. What this will allow us to do is that link between the consultants when they're dealing with real time. Sometimes this requires a plane ride decision. Whether or not we can do this. Can we touch base with the mayor? Can we touch base with the committee chair at the consolidated government? Do we have a direct link over at the Board of Education? Because we have pre-approved schedule. Many times these projects will require something outside of the pre-approved schedule. So we need to have a pretty good sense of whether or not we can make the commitment we're talking about making. And a lot of times that's the chairman or the president of the Board of Education, a quick call to them, a quick call to the mayor, a quick call to the audit finance chair. Those type of things are critical in some of these decisions that have to be made now. We do not intend on leaving any stone unturned as it relates to how we can grow our community. We want to have every tool available to us, and having MEDC focus on existing industry and the Industrial Authority with the resources it have, focusing on new industries and dealing with the state and on a national global scale with our contacts now in Korea with Kumo. A lot of that is very fast moving, very quick pace kind of opportunities.
What has slowed down that process with the way it is now?
Just the overall structure is the overall structure having, I hate to say a middleman, but essentially it is a middleman type model. This time, the person that will be talking will work directly for the authority in charge of making these decisions, so we can move quicker and be a lot more nimble in the approach.
Okay.